All right, guys, welcome everybody to the webinar today. For those of you that are just tuning in or seeing this a little bit later, maybe you tried to tune in when we were supposed to start. We apologize. We had a little technical difficulties here, but I'm excited to be with you today. We've got a very exciting webinar that's planned here. We're going to be going over quite a bit of information, quite a few different strategies, and we've actually got, as many of you are probably been notified by now, that we have a guest speaker, a very good friend of mine, incredible marketer, and somebody that has created one of the co-founders and creators of the Coffee Millionaire marketing system. All right, guys, welcome everybody to the webinar today. For those of you that are just tuning in or seeing this, that's a good thing. That means we're live here. All right, good to go. So anyway, let me go ahead and click that out. All right, sorry about that little quick interruption, but as I said, guys, we've got some exciting stuff that we're going to be talking about today, and I appreciate the gentleman I'll be introducing here in just a few minutes for taking the time out today to talk about some of the things that we're going to talk about and kind of covering a a brief overview of what Coffee Millionaire is and what it can do for you and how it can help build and expand your business. And so I just would like to greet everybody. As you might have known by now, is that today's webinar we're going to be talking about some strategies and different techniques on how to build your OrGano Gold business. So everybody that's watching this or seeing this, you're either in OrGano Gold or you are just started in OrGano Gold, or you're looking to get started in OrGano Gold and you're trying to figure out how you can build your business online. And so what we're going to be talking about today is going to be somewhat OrGano Gold focused, but a lot of what I'm going to be talking about could transcend into any business in terms of building it online that any business that you choose to market or promote. But what I want to talk about all right, I think I'm back. Rob, can you hear me?
Yep, you're back.
Okay, great. Right in the middle of my introduction. Well, here we go. So I don't know where I was. Where did you lose me, Rob?
I don't know, the whole screen just went blank. It just stopped. I mean, it's pretty much in the beginning. Are you yours? You're not? Okay, you weren't moving in for a second again.
Oh, wow. Okay. I don't know what is going on today, but we are going to overcome these challenges. Anyway, so again, for those of you that heard me or didn't hear me, I have known Rob for probably close to 5 years, and my initial, diving into internet marketing and online marketing came as a result of my relationship with Rob and the other gentleman as co-founder and another gentleman that I met them through. But needless to say, they really opened my eyes to the opportunity that you had in terms of building an online platform, understanding how big the internet was and where we were moving. And for those of you that are watching this, I mean, the internet is growing like crazy. I mean, it hasn't even begun to really, take us to where technology will take us in the future, but you've definitely seen signs. And it was because of Rob that and his partner that really were able to share with me the foresight of understanding how big and how powerful online marketing can be. Now, as we fast forward, there's some things that we're going to talk about today to kind of put everything into perspective. But what I wanted to do real quick while we got you on here, Rob, is and hopefully people are watching us. We've got some viewer count that's going up, so that's a good thing. I guess people were able to finally get on here. But I wanted to introduce you real quick so you can say hello to all of the OrGano Gold family. So, Rob, how are you, sir?
Hey, I'm doing tremendous, Brett. Really, really, really well. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So let me see here what we'll be able to do. Okay, so, all right, guys, and as you guys can see, present to everyone. Okay. Rob helped create, again, like I said, is the co-founder of Coffee Millionaire, and I wanted to get him on here today. He's actually going to be covering some of the, or not some of the basic overview of the Coffee Millionaire system. But as we were talking, one of the things that I like about Rob is even though he created the system and, is real big proponent to internet marketing, and that's pretty much what's created his, multiple six-figure lifestyle, is I wanted him to really get on here today and talk about the overall scope of internet marketing as it relates to network marketing, because a lot of times people are confused. They don't really understand how it all works together. And so I have a little bit of information that I'm going to cover here, and I'm going to have Rob chime in as we go, and then I'm going to turn it over in a few minutes completely to Rob so he can kind of cover the dynamics of Coffee Millionaire and some of the different thought processes and marketing ideas that they have implemented through the system. But as many of you have been following the emails, we talked about influence. And one of the things that I personally know through being a part of OrGano Gold, when it was literally, I won't say nothing, but there was nothing what you see today. Excuse me, there was no diamonds in OrGano Gold. Matter of fact, my sponsor, Mr. Abby Ikiola, was the first diamond. Our first month in the business, we did a significant portion of volume to kind of help put him over the hump. And then myself, my wife, our organization, mastermind team, we were one of the first 10 diamond organizations in the entire company. Some, I guess, 3 or 4 years ago now. And so we've got a lot of things that we've seen and a lot of things that we've been through. And what I clearly understand now about network marketing, alongside building with not only the company, but alongside Mr. Holton Buggs, the #1 income earner in the company, Vice President of Sales. For those of you that don't know, he didn't start out as a Vice President of Sales. He was a regular distributor just like yourself, just like myself. But through his experience, through his leadership, he was able to really craft and create what you currently know as OrGano Gold today. And so with all that being said, I was able to get a great insight on how to build a traditional leadership-based organization in terms of culture and so forth. But one of the things I've learned through that, or not but one of the biggest things that I took away from that and I've learned is, a lot of people think that network marketing leaders, they move from another company, they bring people from one company to another company. And, if you look, and many times it's communicated in a negative fashion. But I want you to think about this. If you look in the corporate realm, CEOs and, high-level VPs of companies, typically when they move companies, maybe they stay within the same industry, maybe they go in a different industry, they typically take their key core managers, people that have been with them, people that they've maybe helped develop, people that they've helped impact and grow their companies and grow their businesses previously. They bring those people with them. And the reason why that happens is because at some point that person has a certain level of leadership to that person that's, under them or working for them or what have you, or they have influenced their life in a positive way. And so a lot of people, when they say they've gone from one company to another company, sometimes that's true, but what we don't really understand is that that person or that leader has done a tremendous amount of work and a tremendous amount of effort to create that following and create that influence. Any time in life you have something new or something exciting to bring to the table, then obviously you're going to have new excitement and new growth that's going to take place. And really, that's why we're doing this today. That's my vision for not only building online, but the company as OrGano Gold as a whole. I really see a crystal clear future of people that really have the opportunity to craft their own message, craft their own business for whoever and wherever you're at within the United States and even abroad. So one of the basic things, or one of the foundational things that I learned through this whole process that I'm alluding to, is the power of influence. And that influence that I'm talking about didn't just happen, as I mentioned, overnight. It happened over a period of time. But through that period of time it happening, at some point there was an introduction that was made. Maybe their boss or the VP or whatever that they met, they didn't just automatically start working for them and all of a sudden, boom, they followed everything that they said, and they looked up to this person as the best manager or best VP in the history of business. There was probably some very intimate time that was spent together, some things that they went through. If you notice, a lot of times people say that you can always tell the integrity of a person after you've been through a couple thunderstorms with them, right? And so all of that being said, the key to influence is creating a following, impacting lives in a positive way. And a lot of people that start network marketing, start this business, they have absolutely no influence, or they have no experience of leading people. They have no experience in business whatsoever. And so in those cases, you're going to have to build influence from complete scratch. Now, you might ask yourself, well, how in the world am I going to do that? Now, this is where this is where you have different modalities of marketing and what I would call advertising that come into play. And this is what Rob knows very well, the internet portion side of this. Now, there's other ways to build influence. You could advertise in Craigslist, you could advertise in a newspaper, you could advertise all types of places. There are some different strategies and marketing strategies that we teach within our organization in terms of bandit signs, like yard signs, real estate type signs, like you've seen those ugly, with those, they call the ugly yellow signs. Drop cards. Many of you have probably seen these on OG Tools, which is a tool site that we use. So simple drop cards like that. Decals on a vehicle decals on the back of a window, those types of things. All of these different things are modalities, and what people need to understand about online is that online is simply another tool in your tool belt now with building your business. And so, Rob, if you want to just kind of chime in there, I kind of got a little I talked a little bit in depth there just about history of the company and influence, but could you just chime in there a little bit and talk about how people need to understand that the internet is not just this magic hocus pocus box of immediate money, but it's really more just kind of a tool in your toolbox. Go ahead and talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, can you hear me okay?
Yep, loud and clear.
Okay. So, yeah, really good foundation that you built there, and thanks for having me on here to talk a little bit about this. I really enjoy marketing. I really enjoy lead generating. I enjoy sales and connecting with people and having them get started with me, from around the globe. So I don't know who doesn't like that. Gosh, if you could just, wave a magic wand and say, everybody that wants to, make money or is interested in this kind of thing, come on over here and line up. And we don't need to, all that really that network marketing comes down to, and whatever it is that you're selling, is just kind of sifting and sorting and just saying, hey, does anybody want any of this? Because I got this over here. And those that are interested in that, they step forward and they raise their hand and they tell you that they're interested in it. So, you're really hitting on one of my all-time favorite subjects, which is influence. And in fact, let me look over here really quickly. Scan my bookshelf for one of my all-time favorite books. And I don't see it. It's not jumping off the shelf at me at the moment.
Are you talking about the Robert Cialdini?
Yeah, Robert Cialdini book called Influence. And anyhow, I've read it several times, and I've listened to the audio tapes many, many times. And so if you haven't already recommended it to your people, I strongly recommend. That's a fantastic book. I have to warn you that if you happen to read Influence, that it's kind of like being in the Matrix, and you're taking the red pill, quite frankly, because you'll never view the world again the same way, and that's good, and that's actually bad. So I mean, whether you're at church and then or you're at a fundraiser and you'll say, oh, that's the law of reciprocity that they're using there. So everything that you see around, you can actually put into these different laws of influence. And the other thing I'll actually say on that is I like to think of myself, I guess I would say, as a deep thinker. Maybe everybody thinks themselves that way, but I like to be kind of introspective and stuff. And much of what my lifetime has been has been kind of on the whole idea of what's this all about and what's the purpose and what's the scoring sheet in life, if you will. Is it all about making money and he who has the most money wins? Is it all about he who has the most fun wins? Who has the most stuff? I mean, how do we the happiest? How do we measure? How do we measure for ourselves and quantify for ourselves, good life and what's the whole purpose? And so, at any rate, it's really interesting of all the subjects that you would actually talk about. The one thing that everything actually boiled down, and I decided on this for myself probably about 10 years ago, was the currency that we actually deal in terms of what it is. It's not money, it's not stuff, it's not looks, it's not this, that, and the other. It actually boils down to one common denominator, and that actually is influence. And it is the currency. I mean, if you think about, so I don't want to belabor that. It's okay, you want to talk about internet marketing, but influence is something that's pretty near and dear to my heart. If you think about it, if you had several $1 million, the money that you have in your hand gives you influence. You don't need a sharp personality. You don't need to be persuasive. You don't need any of these kind of things, because you can just say, I'll buy that, and that's influence, and you get it. If you are, super handsome, or you're super strong, or all of these different things, they all are facets to one thing, and that is influence. And influence is the ability to I may not know how to define it correctly, to get what you want, to get things that you're looking for, to encourage people to do things. It's basically, it's kind of how everything steers. So anyway, influence is something that I think it's the basic common denominator currency of everything. So can you develop influence on the internet like we're talking about here? Absolutely, positively. There's millions and millions of people that at any given moment around the globe are looking for whatever it is that you have, be that OrGano gold, be that you making money from home, or a legitimate business, or if you're selling blue suede shoes on Amazon, there's somebody that's out there that is looking for what it is that you have. Now what you need to do is you need to be able to raise your hands up and actually be seen, and to say, anybody that's looking for this, come on over here. So one of the things that that we have done in the marketing systems that we've created is it's not really on topic to influence and things like that, but it's kind of some of the tedious things that you would have to do to sift and sort and see if the person that you have connected with online is a fit for you, if you're a fit for them, your business, and when you're ready to decide that, yeah, we want to take our relationship to the next level, which is join me in business, buy from me, let's work together, let's create let's join the team type of a thing.
Hey, Rob,
That stuff is already done.
let me ask you a question here because this kind of goes back to what we were talking about before. Is would you also agree? Now, obviously, you can on the internet and position yourself, but I already know the answer to this, but I want to hear you kind of share with them. Is it also good to say that once you've positioned yourself or created a certain level of influence to get somebody to opt in or to join your business, so to speak, does that mean that they're automatically going to build it, or are there different levels of understanding of how to lead and develop and grow your business accordingly? Can you kind of talk about that, because I know a lot of times it's one thing to get somebody to opt in, it's to get them to join. And the system kind of helps get them in and help them walk them through the process of saying yes. But after that, a lot of that is going to be according to you. So I want to get your take on that real quick, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about that. So then we can, kind of move the conversation and letting you actually go over the system.
Okay. So, I'm not sure I understand the question entirely, so jump in here and steer me if I'm kind of not going the right direction or the right way. Um, I, all of all of what it is in terms of the process. Whether you're talking about you're gonna meet a girl, whether or not and you're gonna get married, or you're getting a job, or you're selling a widget, or whatever it's gonna be. It all comes down to a filter, a step kind of process that we would call a funnel. Okay. And so I'll kind of hold this up. I just grabbed it. Forgive me. This just popped off the top of my head there. So I just grabbed an envelope here. Here's the funnel. Okay. So at the top we have all of our prospects actually go in. Okay. And then at the bottom down here is where we're making money. Okay. So there's fewer that come out at the bottom than there is at the top. So all of this is a matter of actually just providing people information, engaging them, and having them kind of go back and forth for the story. So let me give you a little bit of an example, and I'll tell you about what the Coffee Millionaire system, the system specifically relevant for everybody here for OrGano Gold is, and how the marketing system, it commonly, sometimes we call it a tour that the person on the internet takes. Other times we call it, a lot of times it's called a funnel system, okay? It's called a funnel system because you got people that are prospects on the top and you got buyers on the bottom, all right? So here's kind of how it goes, and this is how Coffee Millionaire was designed. And, Brett, you're not bashful in any way, shape, or form. And, so tell me if this is how you, if there's any other way to have a conversation like this. If we meet, wherever it might be, we're at a restaurant or some kind of a gathering, we don't know each other, whatever it might be, and you're going to prospect me, Brett, okay? Maybe we're at, we both have kids in karate or something like that, all right? And you think I'm sharp, and so you're gonna prospect me. So we're gonna get kind of chit-chatting and stuff like that, okay? And somehow or another, in the conversation, you're going to dangle some bait out to me that basically says, however you're going to say it, you either come right out and say it, or you're going to, dangle the bait out there. That question is, are you, that is me, interested in making money? Correct? I mean, somewhere in the conversation, there's going to be some kind of a solicitation, if you will. It's like, hey, by the way, I don't know if you're open to making some money, or I'm expanding my business, or something like that. Is that correct so far?
Yeah, yes, sir.
On point number one, okay? Because our objective, what we're talking about right now, is how do we take somebody and turn them overall into a distributor. In fact, we don't really, I was talking about this with somebody today, the ideal prospect, okay? The ideal prospect is somebody that actually buys from you and then even refers from you and builds a team. I mean, imagine if you could sponsor Holton Bucks. Imagine if you could sponsor Brett Shoemaker or Abby Akiola. There's people that are out there that not only would they join your team, but they're going to actually build a massive team as well. That would truly be the ideal prospect. So they can't just sign up and do that unless they go through different steps. And the first most primary step is, hey, you open to making some money. Now, after the person says yes, they're open to making money, what's the next progression in the conversation? And it's pretty simple. If Brett and I are talking, again, I kind of painted out that maybe our kids are in karate together or something like that. We're chit-chatting, and Brett says, you know, hey, Rob, blah, 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 and somehow in the conversation, you know, I'm expanding my business. You open to making any money? I'm going to say, you know, if I like him, which I would, I'm going to say, yeah, you know, sure, I'm open to making money. Then I'm going to probably either ask or I will wait for him to tell me, but I'll say, what is it that you got? What are we talking about here? You know, is that not true? I mean, the first thing is I'm open to making money. The second thing is, or you're going to follow it right up and you're going to say, hey, you know, I'm expanding my coffee business. You open to making any money? So now I know, okay, well, what we're talking about? We're talking about coffee, okay? So far, so good. So then the next thing is we're not going to say, and this is kind of the whole logical progression, we're not going to say, OrGano, the next thing out of our mouth is not OrGano Gold is compensation structure is both a binary and a unilevel that pays down to, you know, we're not going to say any of that. We're not ready for that. The next thing that we probably would say is, gee, Brett would say to me, gee, Rob, you probably don't know, but in North America alone, there are what, Brett?
256 million.
256 million people that
Drink coffee.
When?
Every day.
7 days a week. They drink it on Christmas. They drink it on New Year's. Drink it on holidays. Have to have it. Need to have it. If I don't have my coffee, I'm going to be in a really, really, really bad mood. And you're going to give me this background foundation probably before you even talk about is the name OrGano Gold is really not even, it's not even relevant right now. We need to kind of paint a foundation. Gee whiz, the only thing I know about coffee, Brett, is Starbucks or, you know, Folgers or something like that, right? Then the next thing that Brett's probably going to ask me with what we do here is we call it the 4 questions, right? Which is, Brett?
Do you or anyone you know drink coffee or tea at least on occasion?
Well, of course, I'm breathing, aren't I? I mean, I drink coffee every single morning. Of course, I drink coffee.
Yeah, absolutely, man. How do you drink it? You drink it with black or cream and sugar?
Straight up black. I like the taste of coffee.
Okay, fantastic. Well, tell me, what's your favorite brand, Rob?
What's that? Third question?
What's your favorite brand?
You know, actually my favorite brand really is OrGano Gold, but we're not going to say that. So my favorite brand is, you know, Starbucks.
Okay, Rob, let me ask you a question. When was the last time that Starbucks actually rewarded you for drinking or referring their coffee?
Gosh, never. So perfect. Thank you. Let me take the ball back if I can for a moment here. So kind of going through the progression here, just so that I can keep everybody kind of with me, is we're talking about the funnel, okay? Hey, you open to making some money? Well, sure. What is it that you got? Well, I got coffee overall as a business, and then we're going to give them a little bit of information. As Brett said, 256 million people. And then he's going to give me a little bit more information, or he's going to ask me some more questions, kind of to engage me a little bit. We call them the 4 questions, okay? So finally, I'm going to go, gosh, that's, and then he's going to probably tell me, well, you know, I don't know, Brett, what's so different about this coffee? What's so unique about this coffee, Brett?
Oh, okay. Well, there is a health component that we've actually infused to the product that makes you feel good.
That's different.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's what I like. Here's what I like for you to do. You say you drink black. Boom. Here's some samples. Tell me how you like the taste and how it makes you feel. Can you do that for me?
Absolutely.
All right, now, Rob, here's what I want you to do, though. I want you to mix it with about 6 to 8 ounces of hot water, okay? You can always add more, but you don't want to put too much because you may water down the taste, okay? So mix it with 6 to 8 ounces of hot water. If you like it a little less strong, you can add more water to it. But 6 to 8 is typically where we find people like the taste of their coffee for the most part. So go ahead and mix it with 6 to 8 ounces of hot water and pay attention to how you like the taste again and how it makes you feel. Can you do that for me?
Perfect.
All right, now, Rob, what I want to do, I want to get your name and number so that I can actually follow up with you. And, Rob, whenever you're done, I want to follow up on, I want to bounce back to some of the things you said because you said a lot of good things. that I want to kind of incorporate in people's minds. That was a great example, though.
Okay, let me finish real quick if I can, and I'll hand it right back over to you. So that's a great example that you just gave. It's a little bit actually off track of where I wanted to go, but of course it's on target and on point with building the coffee business that obviously is a diamond that you know so well. Here was what I was kind of going to. There's three main questions that everybody actually has that I believe actually have to be answered in this order. Number one, are you open to making some money? Well, yeah, sure. What is it that overall that you got? That's number two question, okay? Well, I got coffee overall as a business, and we're going to tell them a little bit of background information about coffee and some things like that, okay? And that is the what is it part, okay? And then the next part is I'm going to say, well, gosh, that sounds pretty interesting. You know, is it profitable? How much money are we talking about here? How much? What's the profit potential for this enterprise we're talking about? How much can I make per box, per unit, per this, per that? All of those things are the compensation plan. And then the last one is, well, how would I do it? So there's three main questions that we want to get to, and that is, what is it? How much can I make? And how do I do it? In that particular order. What is it? It's coffee. How much can I make? Let me tell you about the compensation plan and how overall would I do it. Now, online, and this is where I'll get it back to you, Brett. You know, online we cannot pass a sample to somebody and then get feedback and say all the things that we're doing here. We can make a close approximation, and we do with Coffee Millionaire, but what we stick to is overall is, are you open to making some money? What is it? It's coffee. How much can I make? This is how much we can make. And then how do I do it? Well, we get started. And then we say wash, rinse, and repeat. That's how overall this is. It's duplicatable. And then we can work with people all over the entire world. So if you're in Baltimore, you can deal with somebody that's in, New Zealand or wherever it might be, who refers somebody all around the world. And the formula is always exactly the same. So that's kind of what I would tell you. I'll be happy to show you a little bit of what the Coffee Millionaire marketing funnel looks like and demonstrate that a little bit more to anybody. But the main thing is kind of engaging them in a conversation. And then, you know, some people are going to say that they don't drink coffee, or they're not interested in coffee, or that it sounds like some kind of something. Not everybody that goes in the top is going to come out the bottom. And so in the top with Coffee Millionaire, we call them opt-ins. Those are people that actually, they say, well, that sounds kind of interesting. And then they get into it and they just say, it's not my cup of tea. You know, no pun there, but they're just going to say, yeah, that doesn't look like that's something for me. Not everybody's going to join. And that's the whole idea of a marketing funnel. So turn it back over to you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That was a good analogy of, you know, a normal exchange that would take place with, let's just call it a prospect, right? So I like that. And what I wanted to talk here in is basically what Rob was explaining, again, was an exchange of a prospect. If you met somebody at a grocery store or somewhere, and now how would you do that in your normal day-to-day business, okay? You would go to the grocery store. You would go to the gas station. You would go sit at Starbucks or Panera Bread or in actual prospecting. Go to the mall, right? And so basically you're exposing the business. And what I love about what Rob talked about is, number one, it's I have something, okay? I have something, and you're basically piquing their interest, okay? That would be the lead capture page. And what Rob basically outlined was getting you to visualize a normal exchange so that he could then segue into showing you the process of the actual funnel of Coffee Millionaire. Am I correct, Rob?
100%, because the conversation that you would have with somebody, and that was where I said, well, it went a little bit off track of where I wanted to go, because I can't hand a sample and tell them 6 to 8 ounces, but you're precisely right, is I want to show an analogy of the online marketing system to exactly the kind of conversation that we have.
Exactly. So that's perfect. So Rob actually kind of gave you some stuff, which is actually good, because I'm going to expound on it, and then I want him to actually walk everybody through the system. But what I was getting at a little bit earlier is I want everybody to understand that the internet is basically the best way that I could explain it is like having a floating prospecting tool that is doing all of the heavy lifting for you. Now, before you get to the piquing the interest, right? Because once Rob went over the sequence that he went through, you know, hey, I have something, and do you want to make some money? Okay. Well, sure, that's the piquing interest part, right? Well, what do you have? That's when you're going to ask for permission on an opt-in form to get their information so that you can send them to the next part of the information, which is, well, what exactly do you have that I can make money? And then that's when the coffee's introduced. And that's when he talked about different places in the funnel where, you know, people can go to the next level and eventually come out the bottom, which is getting started. But what I really want to focus on before we have him actually outline that and show it is for you guys to understand that the internet is one tool, okay? The internet is one tool, and even before we show Rob, one of the things I want them to understand, Rob, is that your system is not going to get people to automatically join their business. It's their responsibility to get exposures, which I'm going to say are eyeballs, which are basically like prospects. When you're having an exchange with a prospect at Starbucks, at the gas station, at Panera Bread, okay, you're looking them in the eye. You're prospecting them. You're going through the motions, if you will, and that right there is there's other work that needs to be done prior to you actually sending them for the Coffee Millionaire to do all the work, and that's the infamous thing that you probably heard out there before, guys, is traffic, okay? Now, traffic is nothing but eyeballs, okay? So for you in your mind to say, okay, well, how does Coffee Millionaire work, okay? It's a funnel that sorts and sifts the eyeballs that you've piqued, that are now interested or whatever. But what we're not gonna get into depth today, okay? But I want you guys to just understand this, so you don't think that, wow, okay, it's just add water and Coffee Millionaire, you know, poops out people that join the business. Yes, that does happen, but the biggest attribute is the eyeballs that you're going to send to the system for them to funnel out for you, right? So that is, again, that is where the traffic comes into play. And I want to just, again, I will share with everybody my personal experience because I've you know, use the system and use internet stuff for quite some time now. Many of you know that. I'm big online. Traffic can come from any place. It can come from Facebook. It can come from Twitter. It can come from your personal blog. It can come from the biggest, most powerful form of traffic that I've gotten personally has been YouTube, okay? YouTube and Facebook and all these different places, if you can just imagine them as floating billboards in internet cyberspace that is saying, hey, look here, I want you to listen to me, and then when they say yes, then they're going to click on your information or go to the next, take the next step, and that's when they're going to fall into the Coffee Millionaire funnel. Now, getting traffic is a task, and then having a system is a task. The most beautiful thing about this is that Rob has pretty much thought of everything that you could possibly think of on the system aspect so that when you bring the eyeballs to them, they're going to know what to say every time. Think about, for those of you that are listening to this, how many of you are not excellent prospectors? How many of you, you know, don't feel comfortable to come out of your comfort? It's difficult for you to approach somebody, even to have a normal conversation. Forget coffee. Forget anything, it's uncomfortable for you. Well, guess what? You don't have to get comfortable with going and prospecting. You just need to get comfortable with creating online traffic, which is going to come from different modalities like YouTube, like Facebook, and all these types of things. So I want to make that clear so that you can understand. And then there's other avenues that we're going to be teaching in the future that you can leverage, like I was talking about earlier, the marketing, different marketing exposures, drop cards, signs, window decal, all that kind of stuff. And what we'll do, the book that Rob talked about, Influence, yes, I definitely would recommend that book as well. So we'll put those links to some of the other marketing modalities, the books and stuff like that. We'll put the links into the video. But I wanted everybody to understand that what how the system works. And Rob just went over it, explaining in a normal exchange how systematically, basically what the online system replaces. It replaces you having to say the right thing and all of that. But then again, it'll help you sort and sift through people, and it'll help you get people to join. But what it won't teach you to do is how to take that person and grow that person, how to plug them into events, how to plug them into webinars like this. That is where you have to grow in your own influence, grow in your leadership skills, so you can walk people through the system. And so hopefully you guys understood that. We're not going to get big into talking about YouTube and how to create traffic, but the bottom line is, without eyeballs, without traffic, without somebody being directed to the hey, I have something to make money funnel or lead capture page, opt-in page, then Coffee Millionaire can't do anything. Coffee Millionaire is exceptional at taking your person and shaking the trees and having the fruit fall down and say, boom, I got a fruit here that's ready to eat, and that's essentially money in your pocket. And now it's up to you to now take that piece of fruit and walk it through the processes of building the business, getting started. And that's essentially what all of you that are watching here, that's what we're going to be doing in this group, is really teaching you not only how to build Coffee Millionaire, not only how to build online, but we're going to teach you all of the different tools, the swords, the knife, the gun, the sniper, all of that stuff. We're going to teach you how to use all of the tools to effectively build your OrGano Gold business specifically. And so, Rob, hopefully now you kind of know where I was going with that. But if you want to at this point, I want to encourage everybody that's on here. You want to make sure that you, your team members, everybody is plugged into the OrGano Gold training webinar, or I'm sorry, the OrGano Gold training mailing list. I'll put that in the comments of the YouTube video, Google Hangout video, whatever you want to call it, as well, so that you can make sure that your people are plugged in to all the future trainings we'll have. But Rob, if you don't mind going ahead and just kind of walking them through the different segments of the system. And I've told everybody that's watching that we're going to ask you for a big favor after you're done walking everybody through everything, to take good care of the group that we have here that's doing all this business training. So I'm going to pass it back over to you and let you kind of walk through the system, share your screen. You should be able to share your screen.
Sure thing. So let me go ahead and do that. You can still hear me okay, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, just want to make sure. And let's see.
While you're pulling that up, Rob, if you can expound on what I was talking about, so people, I just wanted them to be clear on what your system is designed to do and what it does 100% of the time, and let them understand that there's other things that they need to do. That way they're not just thinking, you know, hey, they get the system and all of a sudden, you know, they got people that are coming in the other side.
Yep. Okay. So let me get out of that. Can everybody still see my screen now?
Yeah, you're perfect. We can see it.
Okay. So first of all, I'm on an account right now that is just kind of our demonstration account. It's called CM Admin, CM Charlie Mary Admin. And then the domain is coffeemillions.com, and then I'm on a page that's called /team, T-E-A-M. And I'll tell you a little bit of reason why, what that page is. Everybody that's in the system has a duplicate page like this, except for their username is going to be different. It could be your first name, last initial, it could be any word that you want or anything like that. So anyhow, this is excuse me, this is the a little bit of an overview of this system. So I'm trying to think of what I can, let me turn some of this stuff off here. Hang on. I'll turn all the segments and things off. Okay. So this is an overview of what it all is, and the first part of the funnel that I was talking about before, we call them lead capture pages, or lead pages sometimes they're called. You all know what they are. It's something that there's some kind of, this is a headline up here, and then there's some kind of a movie presentation, but the main thing is they want you to put in your name and your email. That's what this is all about, okay? So if you think about the conversation that I originally had, and we've got about 15 or 20 of these. This is a great movie that was based on it's based on the recession and when we first entered the recession and the sky was going to fall. In my opinion, it's still very relevant today. I don't think that people have recovered. Somebody told me the other day, and I certainly wouldn't disrespect them or anything like that, but they said the recession's over. And yeah, some real estate things like that might have come back to maybe close to where it was, but I strongly disagree that the recession's over. I think that people are still looking in some way, what are they going to do and things like that. So we created this movie that was a little bit different than the usual rah-rah about living on yachts and having bikini babes and cash falling out of the sky and all this kind of stuff. It was really meant to kind of be more for the family person, like what, I lost my job, I'm this, I'm that. What would I do? I got to find a way to do some kind of something. And then, economy up, economy down, people are going to drink coffee. So there's a whole bunch of different lead capture pages, and basically this asks one question, okay, or what it is. It gives a little presentation, but then the main question, of course, that it asks is, are you open to making some money? And if they say yes by putting their name in and their email. Once they do that, then it takes them to the next part of the conversation that I was saying before. Either you would say, let me tell you what I've got, or they would ask you, what do you got? So we're going to say, here's why I'm asking you if you're open to making money is I've got a coffee business that's absolutely exploding, and it's this, that, and the other. And then we're going to give them a little bit of information. You probably didn't know there's 255 million people. They have to have it every day. This is a new, kind of a different coffee. Can't see, smell, taste, but it's got this herb. Emperors used to trade it, blah, 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 all the things like that. And it makes you feel great by drinking this coffee, okay? So there's enough information for them to say, well, what's this all about? What's about coffee? Does that sound like something that well, yeah, that sounds pretty good. Tell me some more. So then we get into the next part, and actually when they say tell me some more, what we do is we say now at this point, in the very beginning, we just have their name and we have their email, okay? But now they're actually going a little bit, they're going to be a little bit more interested, okay? So I'll give you a little bit of an example of what this looks like. 1 second here. Let me pop this open, and we're going to go to coffeemillions.com/tour. Yeah, that's it, tour. Okay, I'll stop the movie. There's a movie that's going to start up here. So this is the exact page I'm talking about right now. Let me stop the movie. We call this the 7-minute movie because it's 7 minutes long. Okay, now in this, now that they've said, well, yeah, I'm kind of interested in that. That sounds pretty interesting to me. Now what we're going to do is we're going to ask them for more information. So we start out with really simple questions. I'm teachable and trainable because we want them to just get into action. So we give them 4 lay-down questions that are actually kind of more like information. I'm teachable and trainable, and we'll do what has been set before me. Well, are they really going to say no? I mean, come on. So they're going to say yes. So then I'm a success-oriented individual. I'm looking for real change in finances. Again, these are called lay-down questions, and the whole idea of this is to get them into motion. I want to make a 6-figure walk-away income in the next 12 months, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get there. I will put at least 5 hours a week into building. So we've actually just told them, hey, that you can do this in as little as 5 hours a week is what we're actually telling them there. And then, yes, we're also telling them here that they can be a millionaire. Can they be a millionaire? Could somebody join OrGano Gold, Brett, not be a millionaire, and become a millionaire? The answer is yes. I don't know. Am I still broadcasting, by the way?
Yes, absolutely. Sorry, I was muted out, so I didn't make any background noise to interrupt you. But yeah.
The screen where I see your thumbnail, so I'm kind of just in a little vacuum here. So anyhow, then we ask them the 4 questions that Brett already covered. We won't belabor that. Do you drink coffee? How do you drink it, etc.? This is part of OrGano Gold. This system, by the way, we spent about $250,000 to put this together, customized for OrGano Gold. It's not like you come in and fill out information and you can use it for OrGano Gold. It's made for OrGano Gold from the beginning, okay? So now they put in their first name, they put in their last name. They're going to give more information because See, it kind of goes back and forth. Are you open to making some money? Well, sure. What is it that you got? We give them a little bit more information. And then if they say, yeah, they're open, we say, oh, great, give us more information. So now we're kind of taking them a little deeper here. Now we want not just their name, we want their last name, we want their email address, what country you're from. And the most important thing, we want the 4 questions and some stuff like that. But the main thing that we're really after here is what, Brett? What's the main thing on that page that we want to get from them?
Their contact information?
Their phone number, exactly. We want to get their phone number. So, and then we've actually even told them what's the best, in here, we said best time to call. Now, when we have a box that says best time to call, that really is saying somebody's going to call you. They're going to call you up. Now, after they fill their information out, okay, on here is what's going to happen. I will tell you right now, is that they fill all this information out, they put their phone number in here. If they live in the United States, within about 3 seconds of filling this out, their telephone is going to ring night or day, 3 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock at night. As soon as they hit submit, their phone will ring. It blows their mind away. We do it for one reason. We want to blow their mind away. We want them to go, God, that's kind of different. I've never had a marketing system ever call me up. That's really kind of peculiar, like that. That's kind of different. So the whole reason we want them to do that is because we want to differentiate of all the other things that are out there. We want to, we want to tell them that, we want to tell them they need to take a look at this. So actually, I'll just go through this real quick. That's not my name. Han Lee, and put my phone number in here. Okay, now go ahead and have a call. This is cool enough to kind of segue into this, I promise. So my phone will ring in a second, hopefully. This is live. And okay, let me stop that. Everybody can hear my phone ringing? I have to say hello. Hello?
This is a courtesy call from the Coffee Millionaire marketing system to let you know that your application has been received. It's also a quick message to tell you that whether you know it or not, you have just stumbled onto a gold mine. With over 255 million people in North America alone completely and totally addicted to coffee, those with OrGano Gold, marketing a healthier coffee, have unlimited income potential as well as the opportunity to create true walk-away income. Question: what do people do when they run out of coffee? They buy more. Hopefully you get that. A business that's not going to consume more of your free time, but one that's going to give you more. Now, whether you're just curious about a healthier coffee as a potential customer, or whether you're looking to supplement your income and to earn a few extra dollars, or if you see the big picture and your true desire is to earn more in a month than most people do in a year, then you've come to the right place. So here's what you need to do now. Go through the website, read every word that you find on it, and then, as fast as you can, get back to the person that introduced you to this, get your questions answered, and get started. Now, look for an email from the system with your inviter's contact information on it. Don't wait for them to call you. You should call them. Ask them what's next. Listen, this could be your greatest year yet. You've already taken the most important step that you possibly could. You are on your way. Now just take another. We hope to see you as the newest member of our OrGano Gold Healthier Coffee family. That's all for this message. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, so I thought that was important enough.
That's powerful.
Thank you.
Hey, Rob, real quick question. Does that also call international numbers as well?
It did call international numbers. I actually set it up to not call international numbers, and the reason why is because with the phone switching system, it couldn't. I had to say hello on there, and the reason I have to say hello is so that it knows when to begin the segmentation. And there were some issues internationally, so I thought it was best to just actually do it. It's just North America. I think it's the United States and Canada. And then the other countries, it does not do that.
That's where primarily most of our people are focused on building anyway. So, okay, I just wanted to ask, but go ahead. That's awesome.
You know, I don't want to go through all the different. Well, you know, I think that's a worthwhile thing. So thank you for pointing that out. That it is powerful, and we want people to go. It's probably been a long time since you've even heard that message too, huh, Brett?
Yeah, it has been a while. So yeah, go ahead and go through it. I mean, here's the thing. This is going to be online for people to go through it. So I mean, we don't. I mean, it's kind of like getting Obama on the phone, getting you sometimes. So you know,
So what we did right now is we went through the next piece of this, okay? And so now they're thinking, wow, that's kind of cool. That's the whole reason that we wanted to do what we did right there. So we want them to go, that's kind of different. I've never had that happen before. And now what we're going to do is we're going to answer 3 questions. What is it? That's the coffee. How much can I make? And how do I do it? We have another little thing here that's a little bit more like background information about the company. And yeah, you know, you did ask me about the translation and stuff like that. I apologize. Actually, there's a lot that's actually translatable on this particular page here. So anyhow, it redirects them to this page. And now they're going to learn we're not just talking about healthy coffee. This is the first time that we're going to tell them about OrGano Gold. The reason why we don't tell them that before is we want their information. Specifically, we want their name and their phone number so that we can follow up with them. And we don't want them going off doing a Google search at this point because everybody thinks there's some kind of internet detective. We don't want to tell them the name of the company until they've given us their information. And now we're going to tell them the name of the company. It's called OrGano Gold, and here's what they've done, and here's what it is. Then they get into it, and then from here they're going to see more information about the coffee. This is the first time they're ever going to learn about this miracle herb called Ganoderma, what that is, what it looks like. They can get a testimonial from, you know, future Hall of Famer Rod Smith here. He could jump out. I did this down in Jamaica.
Hey everybody, what's going on? My name is Rod Smith. I'm recently retired from the Denver Broncos. Actually, I'm really here to talk to you a little bit about this opportunity with OrGano Gold. And you know, when I retired, I wasn't looking to do anything. I wasn't looking to make a lot of money. I had a lot of money. Honestly, it's not a matter of you know, really trying.
So I don't want not to disrespect on Rod there, but just for the interest of the thing, the system. They can come down, they can look at other people's testimonials. We'll jump over to one little thing here, by the way, is that we've got this throughout the whole tour. It says click here for 67 other reasons why, you know, OrGano Gold, why, you know, 67 other reasons, you know, or 57 other reasons. That's not, it's just a real kind of a curious number. It's not really 57. It's just that it's kind of a different number. And then here we've got, you know, we've got Rod again. We've got LG Young here. Talking about how he went from being practically a billionaire to being homeless and how what OrGano Gold has done from him. Got Holton Buggs. And we've got these video testimonials. Oops, this is Google Chrome doing this. I apologize. Some of these things are not showing up right, but there's, no, that's not, this is something maybe going on with maybe it's something going on with the Hangout. I don't know why some of these are populated and some are not. But all of the members in Coffee Millionaire can upload their own testimonials, and they can share their own stories and things like that. And as long as they're not making any kind of health claim like it cures cancer, or I guarantee you that you make $1 trillion or something like that, I got to go through. I'm really curious why some of these are. I don't use Google Chrome, and maybe it must be a Hangout thing. But anyhow, this is a little bit more of the testimonial page and how that kind of thing works there. And then we're going to teach them about Ganoderma. We don't make any claims here. We just refer them over to third-party sources. Is this compliant, Brett? This is how you're supposed to do it. We don't talk about this. We just say go do your own research, right?
I love it.
Yep. So we don't say, you'll notice in here, there's no place in here that we say Ganoderma cures cancer, Ganoderma does this, yada, yada, yada. We say, according to Rishi.com, according to Wikipedia, okay, this is what we learned from, what I learned from Shane is, tell people go do your own research. Okay, this is from whatever this is, Rishi Rescue, which is another name for Ganoderma. We say go do a Google search on this. Then we're going to show them a little bit of what the factory and all the whatnot like that is over in China. Then we're going to go through some of the main staple core products of OG. Okay, we don't have every product because it's not like that's not what this page is about. It's just kind of for some of the core products. All right, and then they're going to go on. They can either click this up here, or they can go to the next page, and I won't take quite so long on all the pages, but they can go to the page about, well, how much can I make? I mean, this sounds pretty good. Sounds like there's a lot of profit potential here. And then they go to this page.
Let's be honest with each other. You're watching this video because you're intrigued by what you've seen so far. And we're guessing you're saying, okay, show me the money.
So that's really what they want to get down to, of course, is how much can they make. So not only we're going to have a video for them, but then we're going to go through some things. We're going to outline the car bonuses and some other stuff like that they have. We're going to go through product prices. We're going to talk about all the different ways that you can generate money. And this happens while you're asleep. So maybe you have a prospect like Brett just had a prospect that was in Africa, came over, 3 o'clock in the morning, and they're going through the system here while he's asleep, or while he's playing golf, or while he's taking a nap, or fooling around with his kids. He doesn't even have to talk to them yet. It's already doing, they're following their own thing to get their own information as they go through here. And by the way, one of the things we're also going to do is we've got their email address, so we're going to be following up. They're going to get a message. If it's from you or if it was from Brett, it would say, hey, Fred, this is Brett again. And take a look at the compensation plan. And hey, Brett, let's talk, or hey, Fred, it's Brett again, and let's look at all of the why the coffee's different. And hey, Fred, take a look at all the other all these testimonials and things like that. Then here's the 4 steps of how they can kind of get started, and how they should do stuff. And there's so many different ways to build Organo Gold. Some of these things here have evolved a little bit from, well, don't do that or do this, do that, the other. Just kind of simply a guideline, but the main, most important thing is get them to get started. And then what we do is we take them through from here, and then the next step will be the Join Now step. And if this is your system, it's going to have your picture up here. There's nobody, this doesn't have their picture. And then they come through. This is what they typically should do, is join Coffee Millionaire. You're going to join just for $1. That's all that it costs, $1, okay? That's for 2 weeks. And then after the second week, 14 days in, then it bills them $39.95 a month, unless they have referred 4 other people, or if some of the people that they've referred have similarly also referred 4 other people, then we give it to them completely for free. Completely for free. So this is a little bit of kind of how the marketing funnel is. If you like, Brett, real quick, I'll segue into some of the traffic sources that we have and leads and things like that. Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead. You can touch on a little bit of that.
Okay. So I'm going to go to, this is from the back office of Coffee Millionaire. I'll just go to it directly. It's called coffeeleadstore.com. Brett just used these himself. He's going to be doing some calling and taking a look at it and whatnot like that. And I've been doing marketing on the internet for a long time. This is one of my friends has set this up and set this up for Coffee Millionaire. So there's basically, we call these, they're visitors. They're not they're people that are looking to make money online. And so you can order people that are looking to make money online. You can order them to your Coffee Millionaire system. So in this case, we've got 100 people. We say there's geo-targeted. There's $70. The geo-targeted is they're all over the world, except for these 100 are guaranteed to be only in Organo Gold countries. Okay. I think you had one. You ordered this pack here. We had somebody came in from Ethiopia, we think, Brad. I don't know if Ethiopia is an OG country or not. And then they'll come to your system. They're going to opt in, and then they'll go through a movie lead, et cetera, and then you call and follow them up. And then finally, for the whole thing, like I said, this is a $250,000 system that we really want you to have for free. And we just, I call this the best kept secret in Organo Gold. So I'm really grateful for Brett for, spotlighting it and going, God, there really is nothing better, because he's looked to market online for a long time, and we come back and he's like, no, there's nothing, because it's customized for this. And then the last thing that we did to bring Brett up to speed a little bit in part of our conversations is recently, the thing that everybody asked us for is, well, do you have any leads, or do you have any traffic? Well, yeah, we've got Coffee Lead Store. We've got all kinds of different traffic resources within the Coffee Millionaire back office. As I said already, it's got an automatic follow-up email system. It's got a little part where you can tell your story and kind of stand out yourself. It's got a business management system. It's got all kinds of marketing resources, Coffee Lead Store being one of them. And then recently, we started giving all of our members leads every single month. All of the leads are located in the United States. They're all people that are looking for a business, and we include that at no extra cost overall to Coffee Millionaire members. Not the $1 trial, but once they're actually as a full paid member, then we include, it's typically, our goal is at least 100 leads overall per month, and those go right into your contact management system on a monthly basis. So, there is no perfect system in the world. There's nothing that's absolutely going to be, if I had something that said, I could give you leads of people that they got their credit card out, they're just waiting for you to call them right now. That would be one thing. I could probably charge a lot of money for it. But I think it's the closest thing, the best thing. We're constantly evolving. We launched Coffee Millionaire in January of 2009. February of 2009. We actually spoke at the very first conference. There's only about 200 people, Brett. This is even before you joined the business, actually. We spoke at the very first conference that OrGano Gold had in Miami, Florida in February of 2009. And so that's how long we've been around. That's how long we've been providing services to people that are an OG. And OG, likes it because it's compliant and it's the whole 9 yards. And so we've just had a great relationship. There's nobody else that has a marketing system for OG or anything like that that's out there. And we take very, very good care of all of our Coffee Millionaire members. So I know I'm kind of supposed to maybe talk more generically about internet marketing, but everybody that's on this call today is in OrGano Gold. And if I didn't show you what's so cool, there's actually quite a bit more, by the way. I didn't talk about retail pages or sample pages or anything like that. There's all kinds of different stuff that's in here that I could probably go on for an hour and you'd still be pretty blown away about everything that's in there. So, anyway, Brett, I'll pass it back to you, and you can take it away.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I appreciate you going through that, and this is good because for everybody that's listening in, you have, again, Rob just kind of went through everything. So if you have somebody that's getting started in your business or wondering what it is, and they want to understand, well, what am I getting for $40 a month or whatever, he just went through a lot of information. We went over some background stuff here. Rob, so here's what I want to ask you, and this may or may not be possible. I'm putting you on the spot here. We've got quite a few people that are viewing it live, and for those of you that are viewing it live, okay, I got a handful of you that have emailed me your Coffee Millionaire username or handle, but some people that are not, some people that are actually in our group are not actually watching this live because maybe you're at work or whatever. We wanted to make sure that we did this quickly. We didn't want to wait around. And Rob, hopefully we can get you to come back on another day, maybe in a week or so, week or two, and do this again. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd be happy to do this, not just next week or anything like that, Brad. I'd be happy to do this much as you like.
Okay, cool. So, but what I'd like to do, Rob, is what do you think the possibilities are if we actually had everybody that's on here, everybody that's in our group or watching this that has the Coffee Millionaire system, what do you think the possibilities are of, and we didn't talk a lot about the leads that you're giving away, and I've actually called a lot of them. And guys, here's the deal. The leads aren't, like Rob said, they're not just jumping out to ask you for money, but these are people that, their information is active. Some of them say, hey, I wasn't looking, or hey, I don't know, I haven't, it's been a while, or whatever. But the bottom line is, I want you to ask yourself, if Rob gave you 100 leads and one of them or two of them were at some point interested to try your coffee or eventually got involved in the business, just think about the value of that. You're getting it for free, and if one person joins at the bronze pack, it doesn't take, I think it took me maybe half an hour to an hour to call 50 people. So if you take an hour, hour and a half in a week to call free leads and one person ends up getting started, you got $50 right there in your pocket if it's on your pay leg at the bronze pack. So, Rob, the question that I have for you is it possible that you could maybe possibly, potentially, I know you're giving all the Coffee Millionaire users leads, but is there any way that you could maybe juice everybody up with a little extra leads, possibly for those people that are actively engaged in working and using the system? Is that possible?
Sure, I can do that. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I know we had chatted about that before, but I hadn't really asked. But I figured I'd ask you with everybody listening. That's, kind of put you on the spot there.
Yep. I have a limited. I don't have it. I don't have an unlimited quantity of them, and we share them around to everybody that's in the system. I do have the ability to push leads individually to different, to different people and stuff like that. So,
okay,
but yeah, it's definitely possible to do that. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So for those of you, again, I'll just reiterate here. So for those of you that are watching this and you already have your system set up or whatever, just shoot me or reply back to the email that I shot you with your username, so I can kind of make a list of those, give them to Rob. And then also, we have, again, make sure everybody is communicating through the OrGano Gold training email list, which I sent the link out. So you want to make sure as you get new team members on, whether they're in Coffee Millionaire or in OrGano Gold, this is just one segment of training. So you want to make sure everybody's plugged in to the training, so they're getting those training emails. And there is a corporate link that Rob has that we've made so that everybody that is going to be joining, like what we just mentioned, that we can get extra leads, that they're kind of cataloged in one section of the system. But obviously, for those of you that are listening in that are already members, then as Rob mentioned, the refer for and get it for free, you want to make sure that you use your link when you're getting people started, not the CM admin link, because obviously we want everybody to get credit for their referrals so that they can get their system for free after 4. So, Rob, I appreciate you getting on here. Actually, we covered quite a bit. I mean, we only started at about 2:30, unfortunately, because of all the technical difficulties. We've still got a handful of viewers on here, and so that's a great thing. I appreciate you taking the time here, and we're looking forward to sending a lot more users to Coffee Millionaire. Last year we kind of spent some time and started to promote the system, but we're really focused right now. We've got a convention that's coming up. And I wanted to just say one last thing to everybody that's listening here. And Rob, go ahead and chime in here, and then we'll go ahead and close it out. But we've got the event that's coming up. And talking about traffic, one of the best ways, like I said earlier, one of the ways that I have actually created distributors and created eyeballs traffic to the Coffee Millionaire and whatnot has been through YouTube. And, whether you're very fluent or comfortable in front of a camera or not, you don't need a $600 digital camera like I've got in my office over here on a tripod. You don't need a $600 camera on a tripod. You can literally use your phone. So if you've got a smartphone, okay, everybody that's got a smartphone has a video camera. So you can literally take your camera, and if you have an Android phone, then you are logged into a Gmail. If you're logged into a Gmail, then you have a YouTube channel. And so what you'll do is you'll record the video while you're at an event. Maybe record, if Greg Norman's on stage, or maybe one of your diamonds are on stage. Maybe you grab myself, or you grab one of the other diamonds and say, hey there, I just wanted you to say, I've got some people back home or that are looking online, looking at this business, what can you tell them about OrGano Gold? Or, tell me a little bit about your background and your story and what's helped you become successful. Tell me what's different in OrGano Gold. Just different things like that. You don't have to be in front of the camera. You don't even have to do any of the talking. You can let the other person that you're recording do all of the talking. You go to your phone here. You go to your little video setting, and every phone, regardless of what it is, whether it's an iPhone, whether it's an Android, or whatever, has a little button on there that says share, okay? And you just go onto the video, and you click, the little button up there at the top, and say upload to YouTube. And it's going to upload it to YouTube, and we'll have a separate training webinar where I'll share with you, once it's uploaded on YouTube, how to actually take that video and get views with it. But we don't want to complicate it right now. Get videos on YouTube. You'll title it when you're using the little YouTube app uploading it. But I just wanted to throw that in there, Rob, because we've got an event that's coming up, obviously, in the next week or so. I'm going to be flying out on, I think, Monday or Tuesday, because we've got a Ruby retreat. But I mean, that was one of the things that first thing that you guys taught me whenever we met about 5 years ago or so. So I mean, there you go.
Okay, sorry about that. There's a truck that had driven by here. So yeah, about YouTube marketing and things like that, and taking in for sure. I mean, there's going to be a jillion people at the event. I would definitely be involved, definitely have a username, definitely I would tell people, write it down, say, that same page that I just gave you, that I showed you, was a demonstration page. This CM admin / it's Coffee Millions / team. It's in your back office. It's not something you got to hunt for. You go to my website. We put it, actually, it's first and foremost. We say get your system for free, and here's your link to promote. So yes, when you're going to the event, it doesn't have to be people in your downline. It could be anybody. The only people that Coffee Millionaire doesn't benefit are people that are not in OrGano Gold. If you're not an OG, if you quit OG, there's no reason to be using Coffee Millionaire at all. But you're going to an event where there's zillions of people, and aren't people looking for new ways to generate leads and to do all the kind of cool things I showed you, hopefully, and you say, yeah, do this, and they can hook up with you. There's not like it's cross-lining. There's nothing like that at all, because we're not paying a commission. There's nothing like that, but you can still get credit the way you could for any affiliate kind of thing that's out there for being the one that introduced them. And as long as they're in, or they referred for themselves, that moves you toward where yours is free leads, everything. So is that kind of what you were looking for, Brett, in terms of the timing of the event?
Yeah, absolutely. And another piece of advice I would give to people: bring an external battery charger. Okay, I'll shoot a link. I've got this one, and then I've got another bigger one that every event that I go to, I always bring it. Charges your iPad. I mean, this is a USB thing, so you can plug your iPad USB. And you may say, well, why is he telling us this? If you've ever been at an event and you're getting content, which I've done this many a time, and both of your phones die. I got 2 phones. I've had both of my phones die and my iPad dead. But these right here are lifesavers. So I'll throw a link on there too on that, because those are cool to have to make sure your devices are charged at all times, so you don't miss any opportunities for training or traffic or any of that good stuff. So yeah, Rob, I appreciate you again for getting on here, sir, and definitely look forward to having you on here again. And again, guys, I apologize for all the technical difficulties, but hopefully you guys will be able to rebroadcast this and share this with your groups, and they're able to get some value out of it. And I'll be scheduling most likely probably the week after the convention to really start to train on YouTube and do different trainings. We might do it before. Today's Friday. I'm leaving on, let me see what day it is. I think I'm leaving on, what is today, the 26th? I'm leaving on Tuesday. So, all right, maybe I can do the webinar. We'll see if I can be able to schedule it or squeeze it in. And so if you guys want,
give them a link so they can sign up to Coffee Millionaire at all if they're not on.
Yeah. I've got a link that I'm gonna be putting. So just to remind me, Rob, I've got a link. I'm gonna put the Robert Cialdini influence in there. I'm gonna put a link to some of the other tools that they can use. And what were some of the other things? So we need a sign up link, Robert Cialdini influence. I'll do the tools, the interest peaking, traffic number generating signs, blah blah blah. What else? CM and Cool. Is there anything else that I missed?
No, I think we're good.
Okay, cool. So for those of you that are watching, if you guys want me to go ahead and try to do that YouTube training before, let me know. If not, I don't want to, get everybody too overwhelmed or, just overwhelmed with information. But Rob, again, appreciate you coming on, sir. Thanks for walking us through the system from none other than the co-founder, master marketer himself, Mr. Rob Hanley. So, on behalf of everybody in the trading group, thank you for coming on. And we look forward to having you again in the future. So, guys, we're going to go ahead and sign off here. Thank you for everybody participating, and look forward to helping you guys continue to build your OrGano gold businesses here in the future. So have a great day.
Thanks, everybody. Take care. See you, Brett.
Alrighty.